The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, joining me as well. Packers all-time leading scorer, Mr. Mason Crosby. Good morning, Mason.
Oh, good morning. A little road game for the kid over here, but got this thing rolling. Feeling good. I'm getting ready for some great golf coming up. We got a great show lined up for you. I'm about to post something on Instagram. Yeah, I'm just trying to get active.
Yeah.
Be the social media guy.
Well, Andy Herman kind of bodied you yesterday.
Well, that's what we were going to talk about. I didn't know if we were going to transition with Andy because I wanted to ask, what just happened? He just reinvented cable television. He just brought it back. It's like that Jim Gaffigan skit, remember, where it's like, I don't drink cow's milk. I drink, oat milk or almond milk or all these things. And then it's like, and then they're like, oh, but in France, they're doing this wild thing, and they're drinking this new kind of milk called cow's milk. It just comes back after 10 years of ridiculousness.
My favorite Jim Gaffigan bit is either his Hot Pocket bit or when he's like, yeah, we wanted to have a home birth. We wanted our baby to live, though, after all of that. But if you missed that yesterday, Andy Herman, after I said it yesterday on Sparky Show, and yesterday on Sparky Show when I talked with him at 4:40, I believe this tweet had 230,000 likes. It now has 512,000 likes. When Disney Plus and Hulu are launching a unified streaming app in 2026, fully integrating Hulu and Disney Plus, the standalone Hulu streaming service will be discontinued. Andy Herman quotes the tweet, "Can't wait until they unify all the apps into one new app called Cable."
Yeah, exactly. You got 10 million views and 630-something likes. The guy is... it's been good knowing you, Andy. Where are you headed to next?
Right.
What's your next gig that's happening here? Because I'm sure we won't be having him on our little radio station anymore.
Right.
The guy's going to be... For
more hot takes about everything you can with Andy Herman, 8 to 9, Pack-A-Day Radio.
8 to 9, check it out. While he's still there, guys.
Right.
We're just living in Andy's world. I love it.
The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're going to talk Packers in the second segment of today's show, get you caught up on everything happening over at training camp, plus preview a little bit, start to talk a little bit about Saturday against the New York Jets. We're going to have John Morton join us here at 9:45 for On the Green today. Mason Crosby off tomorrow, but we wore our polos today for On the Green. I feel like second button is necessary, but it feels tight on the neck today. I don't know why.
Now open that bad boy up.
You want just
I'm
all
kind
three
open.
of them?
Yeah,
let's just go all of them down. Really?
Well, you got an undershirt, but I go bottom button. I like to feel it. Man, I was running around getting all my stuff set up today, so I'm a little sweaty.
Yeah.
This is a little sweaty Mason over here right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling alive. I am ready to roll. I don't know if you can see this backdrop I'm rocking right now. It is I got Bart Starr over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh.
Old school Packer action.
It's a great backdrop. I'm just trying to steal Andy Herman's thunder here.
Everything you can steal from Andy.
Whatever
I
can
now.
be. I just want to be more like Andy Herman and more like our Milwaukee Brewers. So
let's
that's where we are going.
Kick it off. They are the most relevant right now, where it makes the most sense, I guess, to lead the show with them every day. But now the Milwaukee Brewers, the first team to 70 wins. Do you remember when what was their over under 84.5? 84.5, I think it was, over at Pato.
Yeah.
And we all hammer that. Hammer the over on that.
Did you do it? I did not. That was a mistake.
I didn't, but I still have my World Series bet out there for $50 for $12.50. I didn't even realize how perfect branding it was when I did do it, but $12.50 I would win if the Milwaukee Brewers win the World Series. And I don't know if they give out awards from players from July 7th on the rest of the year, but if they did, they should make an inaugural award and call it the Andrew Vaughn Award.
That's driven into left center field. Back goes Harris, still back, and it is gone. Andrew Vaughn strikes again. Hitting streak reaches a dozen, and the guys in that Brewers dugout just cannot believe the run that this kid is on.
Cannot believe this guy. Yes, exactly. And so Nikolay Law fan talk in text line 414-677-1250 if you want to join the show today. But is it too early to get too excited still, or are you over that threshold already with the Milwaukee Brewers? Because every time I watch them, I expect a victory at this point now. It doesn't I don't shy away from that take at all. And when you have a guy like Andrew Vaughn, we talked about it a little bit with you yesterday, Mason, like he's in the zone. He's locked in. Whatever he is doing, just continue to do.
Yeah, just inject that into our veins, or put that into our smelling salts. I mean, I would put that into a smelling salt packet and sniff that before every game.
Ooh.
Like I would do it. You would do it too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you would.
I love
and Bryce Terang. Okay, I mean we haven't talked about Terang in a while because he's. I mean, you could talk about him almost every day. I mean, the guy is just consistent and solid. But he had another great game.
Yeah,
and he he had a good shot. Do you have any sound from that one? Because
Terang lines it fair inside the bag. That'll get another run across. Terang will trade places with Perkins. And a 2-out RBI double by Terang ties the score.
Yeah, I think I saw yesterday that he's fourth in Major League Baseball with batting average with runners in scoring position, a minimum 100 at-bats. In all of baseball, Bryce Terang. Like, you remember your life before Bryce Terang, right, Mason? Where you were just always,
I don't know,
always unhappy, never fulfilled.
Just disappointed.
It was kind of like Scotty Scheffler on a Wednesday media outing. That's what it felt like with your life without Bryce Terang. And now every day, like, you get to see the best second baseman in baseball play for the Milwaukee Brewers.
This Brewers team is fulfilling my life. Like, they're fulfilling.
Yes,
like, that's what's happening right now. They've put that little, they put that thing in the void that we all needed, and they're doing it they're doing it so it's so unique from what baseball, and it's just so much fun to watch. I mean, Blake Perkins. Yeah. What is going on there?
Right.
Like, where's this guy come from? I mean, insanity. Vaughn, what is his OPS is like 1.1 or something like that?
I think it's 1,200s in this hitting streak right now. Yeah.
Like, what is – I think that's good.
I think that's good. Blake Perkins, 3 homers now on the road trip.
Perkins, right field, hit well. It is gone for Blake Perkins. His 3rd home run of the road trip, and the Brewers open it up against Strider and the Braves.
Yeah, I'm actually nervous because I don't know what you would change about this Brewers team because they apparently have so many changes still to come, and I really just don't want to mess with any of this mojo. Just this vibe right now this team has. I love what we hear from Pat Murphy every day because Pat Murphy also just comes out and is never satisfied either. And he continues just continues to drill that into their brains where it's way more valuable to, yesterday the line was, don't analyze the result, analyze the process, or analyze the approach, right? And just really focus in on, don't look at what you did every day at the end of the day. Look at what you're doing every day to get to those results at the end of the day.
Exactly. I mean, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner at the 10 o'clock hour, and I mean, he's been, pounding that into our brains all year. It's just like, all right, what do we move on to the next day and do all that? And again, in the football space, we always have that conversation, but it's like you have a week to prepare for the game.
Right.
So it's like you're not just your next day isn't a game. Your next day might be Wednesday, and you're just getting ready for, you have 3 days of practice to prepare for that Sunday game. So, like, this is, like, baseball is so unique with that, where it is literally like, all right, flush it. Yeah, that was fine. Y'all did all right, but let's work on this. Let's make sure that we're a little sharper here. And again, guys like I mean, I could go down this whole lineup right now and be like, okay, Isaac Collins, wow, he had a great day. Sal Frelick comes back from injuries, just goes and gets 2 hits and has a really solid day, in the batter's box. I mean, in this game, I told y'all last night though, I was like, if they don't get 10 runs, I don't know if I'm fulfilled. So they didn't get to 10 yesterday, so I'm still hungry. I still want to see this team just take it to another level. I mean, they barely beat the Braves yesterday, 5-4.
Sure.
Give me a break.
Here's the Brewers recap of the road trip here. The Brewers are the first team in MLB history to have a road trip of any length in where they scored 50 or more runs, didn't lose a game, and didn't commit an error. Is that not Brewers baseball at its finest?
Commit an error?
The entire time. Over those 6 games, they just locked in. And right now, like, going back to the Andrew Vaughn conversation, too, because it feels like every day you are sitting there just watching and you can't believe it. Even when he ropes a single, you're like, wow. I mean, like, he cannot get out of the zone right now. And to talk about it and relate it back to you, Mason, like, I just think of it as like the relax run or the we're going to run the table run. And you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who is way more high profile, obviously, than Andrew Vaughn. But you heard there in the call from Jeff Levering, highlights courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network, like the teammates are in awe of what he is doing day in and day out. And I know you definitely have experiences like that where you got to watch Aaron Rodgers for all those years, but specifically in those moments where he would say something's going to happen and then he executes, like that's got to be an unmatched feeling as a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, the electricity around that is, I mean, you literally, that's what it is. It's electricity. You can feel it. It's just like, man, this guy, we talk all these, the words, the aura and all of that. And it's like, but, I mean, this has been going on in sports for a long time, where somebody just gets on a heater. You're cautious, baseball superstition. It's like, do we want to talk about a heater? But it's like you should. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, okay, if it stops for one game or if it doesn't go well, it's like, what a freaking run he had. Like, we can be okay with that. So, like, let's make sure we appreciate and enjoy it. And it looks like this Brewers team is doing that, because you can't just like. You want to have like the right level of celebrating it and then still be in the locker room and be like, kind of giving the guy a hard time and jabbing it. When Aaron was on some of his best runs, like that was the loosest and the freest he ever seemed, right? And you could he was approachable. You're almost like, he needed that back and forth. So you just don't want to see it get tight where it's like, all right, we're getting late in the year. We're on this great run. Don't tighten up. Keep it loose. Keep doing all those little things. I mean, this team, I'm looking at the overall, standings. I mean, they're 3 games out. Mm-hmm. Toronto Blue Jays have made a run here, which I hadn't looked in just a few days. In baseball world, that's like a lifetime. Right. So I'm like, all right, Toronto Blue Jays have jumped up. Dodgers have kind of faltered. Detroit has been pretty bad for a little bit. But, I mean, 3-game lead. In the overall standings. I mean, they're better than everybody by 3 games, like the next best team. I mean, that is unbelievable.
The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wortz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, talking Brewers' first team to 70 wins in Major League Baseball. Is it too early to get too excited about this Brewers team? And Andrew Vaughn, I mean, looking at his stats this season, right? So he played 48 games with the White Sox this year before he ultimately ended up in AAA for their Charlotte Knights, the AAA affiliate. He had 185 at-bats with Chicago this season. He had 35 hits in that time. He was batting 189. His OPS was at 532 for the White Sox.
Yeah.
With the Brewers.
Did they trade? Is there another Andrew Vaughn that, they accidentally sent the wrong one?
I mean,
did we...
You got to send Aaron Savale a World Series ring if the Brewers end up doing anything this year, because that is just completely he demanding a trade, and then the Brewers are like, fine, we'll send you to Chicago, and then now you can go on and do whatever you have to there. In 22 games with the Brewers this year, remember, he had 48 games with the White Sox. He He had 35 hits with the White Sox. He already has 29 hits with the Brewers. He had 5 homers with the White Sox. He already has 7 with the Brewers. He had 19 runs driven in. He has 28 already with the Brewers. He was batting 189 with Chicago. He's batting 377 with Milwaukee. His OPS at 532 with Chicago. In his stretch of those 22 games, it is 1145 with Milwaukee. Truly just unreal stuff. And I don't know, I tweeted out yesterday, like, this is getting into, like, best month in Brewers history territory. I don't know I can't remember a month like this since, like, a Yelich or a Braun MVP.
If he continues this on, is it enough to put him in the MVP? Category. I mean, can he do enough from like where he started to this point?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no on that.
All right. That's my question. I mean, at this point, is he the team already? Is he the team MVP? Since he's gotten there, you got to say, like, I mean,
he's the best player on the team since he's been up. Absolutely.
Yeah, has anyone been hotter?
I would say that Brandon Woodruff.
So hot right now.
Brandon Woodruff also, he correlates to the exact same time. I believe Vaughn's first game was the 7th, and Woodruff pitched the first game either on the 6th or the 8th of July. So they came both up at the exact same time or came back at the exact same time. But Andrew Vaughn right now is unconscious for the Milwaukee Brewers. The entire team seems to be as well. Like you said, Sal Frelick, you can just pop right back in, and he doesn't miss a beat.
I mean, you don't have Jackson Churio playing either, which is insanity.
Or Miz pitching.
Rhys Hoskins, yeah, Miz is not playing. Like, I mean, it's crazy what is going on over there right now. Give me some of that. I mean, look at this. Blake Perkins hasn't played a lot of games, but his OPS is 895.
Right.
Like, the guy just steps in, whenever Churio's out. It's like you plug in Blake Perkins. All right, let's just go. Let's just plug and play. Let's get this thing going. He's not Jackson Churio, but he's doing his thing. I mean, Jackson Churio, you're missing him. He's 786 OPS. Isaac Collins, 828 OPS. I mean, that's what these guys, they're just getting on, like, bases. They're hitting the ball just great, and they're finding ways to win these games. A 5-4 win, you look at that, and I feel like early in the season that this one probably gets away from them. And they find a way just to kind of grind it out and get a good win against a Braves team. Obviously, these two series, take them with a grain of salt. If we hadn't, like, swept the Dodgers, hadn't twice dominated the Cubs too, then you kind of would probably look at these series and be like, okay, I mean, these teams are bad. They should beat them more often than not. But they are just beating everyone. It does not matter. Show up to the ballpark, get it done. Brewers baseball is the top dog right now.
4th best 61-game stretch in the National League in the last 25 years. It's the best since 2010, rather. All 3 of the stretches before that belong to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers in 2017 were 52-9, which is just gross to say that out loud. In 2022, the Dodgers were 48-13. They were 48-13 as well in 2013. The Brewers 45-16 in their last 61 games right now. Unbelievable. Pat Murphy said yesterday as well, Todd Rosiak of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel asked him a question on the road success, because the team is also one of the best teams on the road right now, too. And Pat Murphy commented back with, I think that sometimes we make too much of it, the home and away stuff. This team's proven that they like the challenge, and I don't even think they think about it. They're just so hungry, and they want to play so bad. They like playing, That's what it is. That's what Pat Murphy said.
I love it.
He just said that the guys want to show up and play ball every day.
They just like ball.
They just like ball. That's all it is. The team wants to go out, play a kid's game, and just continue to do it at the most elite level right now. And it's someone new every night, and Andrew Vaughn, it feels like.
Yeah, so I'm riding in the car with a buddy from Wisconsin yesterday, or lives here. I guess he's from here now. Mm-hmm. How long do you have to be in a state to be from there?
More than half your life.
Okay, he's not from here.
Okay,
he's from California, but he's lived in Wisconsin for a long time. My buddy Rob Hall, we're driving up the interstate, and we're talking about this Brewers team, and it's just like what is going on? And he's like, I'm going to Brewers games because I enjoy watching it. And then we got into the finances of it. He's a finance guy, and he's just like, their salaries or what do they get? $110 million payroll?
Yep.
Isn't that what they're at?
Yep, something along those lines.
That's crazy. Like, that's like what? Like, that's a couple players for the Dodgers?
Right.
It's a couple players for the Yankees? I mean, their payrolls are what, $300 million?
Oh, yeah,
So
all day.
just to think about that as well. And what, like, you have to have a guy like Pat Murphy, where he's just like, these guys show up. They play a kid's game. They're loving ball. And you have to do that whenever you are a low salary number team. And this team has found that recipe to be like, we are going to do it the right way. But it almost it's not like the A's, when they did the Moneyball stuff, because this team is more exciting. Like, this team just has so many more pieces and are so dangerous that I don't like saying the World Series stuff, but I would love to see a World Series game at AmFam Field.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be there. Where will we sit? Can we sit like right behind home plate? I mean, can we get that done?
You're paying for sure. Absolutely. I'm all in on that. Nicolay Law fan talking text line. Got a caller here. Dave and Cudahy joining in here. Dave, how we doing this morning?
Good morning, gentlemen. I know we were talking about the Brewers. I mean, the absolute talking point of the summer for Milwaukee and honestly in MLB. Can we just do a belated MVP and give it to the Chicago Cubs for taking Craig Counsell and giving us Pat Murphy? I mean, for real. You cannot, and don't get me wrong, I love Craig Counsell here, but Pat Murphy has completely reinvigorated this team. Look how excited they are. Look how much fun they're having. And let's be honest, Craig Counsell never had fun a day in his life. He was always so stoic and stone-faced. Pat Murphy is just pulling out baked goods from his pockets, man. This is what we're looking for. And also, another MVP that we're not thinking about, don't forget, this is Bob Uecker year.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? I mean, that's another thing
you.
that cannot be forgotten about, and definitely not downplayed at all. These players and the whole city is playing for Bob because Uecker is Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dave, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a good rest of your day. There is my brother, Dave, right there, just calling in, talking about some ball
just
right
Cudahy
there.
boys.
Just a bunch of Cudahy
thing.
boys. Yeah, you got. I wore the Cudahy hat today.
I see it.
Yeah, I
see it.
I gotta let the people know. But he's right. I mean, it's a great take too. I love that he said, the stoicness of Craig Counsell. Like when Craig Counsell was a curmudgeon, it didn't really work out. When Pat Murphy's a curmudgeon, you're like, this guy. I mean,
Well, you said the best line that he'd be the best grandpa and the worst father-in-law in the world.
Yes.
Like you don't want to be the guy that he's kind of like looking at like sideways. But as a it's kind of like the guy that you like look up to and you're like, man, I want to be like him.
Right.
I mean, he's pulling pancakes out of his pocket. He's like he's willing to have a good time, but then he's also like, we just need to be better every day.
Yeah.
Just do the 1% thing better every day, and that's what's expected, and we're going to be awesome. And all right, he won't even say that. He's like, we're not going to be awesome. That's just what we do. That's our job. And I love that mindset. And he's a guy that he's letting these players go out and play the game. Just go play ball. I'm going to just, I'm just going to be solid, consistent all the time, say some funny things that everyone laughs at, but, I'm like stone-faced while I'm doing it. And it's like these guys are just able to be great friends and go out and play ball. I mean,
yeah.
We're seeing something really special here. And, I did not know, come April, like whenever April and it was like baseball time is on, I did not know how I would feel here at the beginning of August, but I'm really happy, where my heart is.
Where your heart is.
I'm really happy.
Baseball has fulfilled.
Baseball has fulfilled my summer needs that I had this year for sure.
It's the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. How excited are you about the Milwaukee Brewers, and is it too early to be that excited about the Milwaukee Brewers? We'll continue the Brewers conversation top of the 10 o'clock hour. Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, going to join the show. But we got to get back to ball. We got to get back to football, that is, because now the Green Bay Packers season feels like it is right around the corner. It feels like you're just already trying to make all the predictions you can for Green Bay. Another day of training camp in the books. Andy Herman down there for us again today. And preseason action on Saturday as well, Mason.
Yep. So first, I guess, relatively live action for these boys. Yeah, they're going to be out there on Saturday night just, getting that first feel of action against another team, which it's really important for these young guys to get out there and play some ball.
It's the Mason Crosby Show. We'll talk about it next on the other side, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
That's what's exciting is it presents. That's a great example of a guy not being able to go, and then everybody kind of gets bumped up a spot and they get more reps. So what we're really looking forward to is watching these guys compete once we get to these preseason games. Obviously, you're evaluating it every day, but I'm excited to see when we're out there and we get a stadium full of people how these guys respond.
It's the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wortz here with Mason Crosby, filling in for Mitch Thundernellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. There's Matt LaFleur speaking about the cornerback room after Nate Hobbs goes down and what he is now expecting out of some of the young guys heading into Saturday's preseason opener against the New York Jets. Mason Crosby, your
just
reaction.
Talking about how excited he is. He's so excited.
Was he always like that no matter what? Even
He's
in the
changed
locker room?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's changed a bit. Like I think getting in front of the media all the time, doing all those things. Like you come in, you're, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed when you first start, and you like want to say fun thing. And, he mixes it up, but he'll call people out, which, he tries to have a good time. But, you kind of like, I can't imagine you do that every day.
Yeah.
They're asking pretty much the same questions, and it's just like, you just get kind of stoic and you just kind of go through the mode. Like, but whenever you say I'm excited, like you got to give something, right? Like, don't say the word if you're not going to give it an emphasis.
Matt LaFleur
like,
just slowly turning into Pat Murphy as the days go on here now.
I'm so excited to see these
Undaunted.
guys out
This team is hungry, so hungry.
I love it. Hey, you know what? It's all part of a game. I feel like these guys, like head coaches, they kind of you start getting this persona, and you got to kind of play the game within the game with the media, with your players, and all of that. It's what we talk about with Jordan Love. It's what we talk about with Matt LaFleur's progression as a head coach. It's just you have to kind of morph into this thing that like you guard yourself a little bit. You want to be open and honest, as much as you can be, so people can truly know that you're saying what you mean, and like your
right.
And your integrity's intact, all these things. But at the same time, it's like just don't show too much, because the second he would have gotten made a face or shown something, it would put a trigger, light bulb would have gone on in some reporter's mind and been like, all right, I got to ask a question. Why does this make you excited? Why is this guy?
Right.
So if you just go monotone, then it's just like, okay, well, we'll go on to the next question, I guess.
Just never show your hand, right? Yeah, it's a poker match
poker face
against all of the reporters for the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't necessarily.
Are you a good poker player, Tommy?
The worst liar ever.
Okay.
Like, I don't lie at all, seriously, because I am terrible at lying. I will laugh.
About that.
I'm the worst
You would
liar.
laugh at the poker table?
Oh, always.
Like giggle about pocket aces?
I wouldn't even try to play poker because I know how terrible I am at lying. Like, I'm not even. I seriously don't lie. Like, ever.
That's
I
hilarious.
don't fib nothing, because it's just like I will show it always, and it's just way
no
too
lies,
easy.
No fibs.
No. Nothing. Doesn't matter.
None of it.
All right. Look, talking about the Green Bay Packers ahead of their first preseason matchup with the New York Jets, it always seems to be a discussion now, year in and year out, based on what is really since they got rid of that fourth preseason game. Nikolay Love fan talking text line 414-677-1250 if you want to join this conversation. How many reps, if any, do you want to see any of the starters play heading into preseason this year? Is it not going to matter for this game? Well, hey, can you not bury the lead here, Mr. Crosby? All right? Because Matt LaFleur talked about it, and he made a comment here about what he can still learn from Jordan Love heading into preseason.
Yeah, I think you're constantly learning, and I think he's constantly learning, and he's got that mindset, which I think you need to have. Certainly, there were some great situations that came up specifically yesterday in practice that I think that we can learn from and get better from. I mean, myself included. So, I think that you're always learning.
You're always learning. Okay, yeah, he wasn't really excited. I'm sorry I played that. But I'm just saying that he's trying to learn more about Jordan Love. How do you learn more about a player until you see them play against opponents, right? And now, I don't know when their first joint practice is. I think it's next week with the Colts.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe that's where you start to see a lot more one action and the ones going up against ones, right? And you get some awesome moments from there that you'll see. There'll be a fight next week at some point.
Oh, yeah, skirmish.
You'll get the iconic moments of like when DeAndre Hopkins and D'Angelo Hall are going at it in the Hard Knocks or whatever from there too. But honestly, Mason, I understand why you don't want to see starters play in the preseason, but I also have understood that week one is like the sloppiest football ever now of an NFL season.
Well, I mean, at times, but that's because everyone's trying different things. Whether you played in preseason or not, you're not going to show anything. So it's like that week one is going to be what it is. Anyways, like it is always a little rough because you're trying out some different plays. You're trying to break some tendencies, show some different stuff to your opponents because that first game sets the tone for like how everyone scouts you down the line. So like I believe, and that's why we talked about I like playing division opponents first because you can actually throw something at them that they haven't seen before. You can kind of, test out some things against familiar opponents early on, because once you it's hard to reinvent yourself in the middle of the season. So once you start down a path, you have to constantly break tendencies, but you can't redo the playbook. But at this point, that playbook can be relatively fresh. You're not going to show anything in preseason. It doesn't matter. Starters don't need to play. And that's where I'm at. I believe.
Why would you then not just try everything you're trying in week 1, do it in the games that don't matter? Like, that doesn't make sense. Then why not try new things, put people in new places?
Do you think they should try all these, show some of these new things that they're trying in preseason?
You can't. That's
ridiculous.
You're showing then for the rest of the year, too, in week 1. It's the same difference where it's like, okay, we're going to give this look that we're going to try out in week 1 that we're going to use again later on in the future. You're doing the same thing in preseason, too.
You're game planning for that specific team to try to get an advantage. If you're like a Bill Belichick of the world, he game planned for each individual team. They were a unique, squad that they would actually change quite a bit from week to week, trying to just match up with the team they were playing.
Yeah.
And every team does that in some form or fashion. Some go to the extreme, like the Patriots used to, and some will just throw some different wrinkles in. But you always kind of have your base. And right now in preseason football, you might do some trick plays, you might do some stuff just to kind of have fun but you will not show anything. Why? Why would you?
But that's what preseason should be. It should be establishing that base, right? And why would you establish that base without a couple of reps? I'm not saying Jordan Love should play one series in this game.
Yeah.
One. I'm not asking him to play a quarter. I'm not asking him to play multiple series. One series, try to get a base established. It's on film. Yeah, all the joint practice stuff is going to be on film too. Okay. And they're going to have access to it before games as well anyway. Establish the base in something that is it's not high pressure, but it's a little more than practice against your ones or your twos.
Well, let me give you a little inside football as well. This is not middle school ball. This is not high school ball. It's not college. This is the professional football league. They practice like games in practice.
Yeah.
You practice like you're going to play. You're not half speed, unless it's like a walkthrough before a game. You are literally going full speed other than taking people to the ground. So they expect you to practice like you're going to play. Sure, there might be moments in games that, okay, wow, it's just a little bit faster. But it's like you have an expectation to go out and train and practice like you're going to play. I think for Jordan Love's, these starters, they should go through warm-ups. Just get back into the rhythm of what game day feels like, and then don't play in the game. There's no need for them to play in this game.
I just think that especially with the Green Bay Packers, maybe, okay, fine, let's eliminate Jordan Love from the conversation that he shouldn't get any playing time during preseason.
You think Josh Jacobs needs to run the ball?
Okay, we can eliminate Josh Jacobs. But how many we're going to hear
you think Elton Jenkins
all
needs to
year play? About the age of this team, because we have the last 2 years. It's always a storyline of Packers are the youngest team. Youngest team to make the playoffs. Youngest team to make the playoffs the year after that too. Youth should not be an excuse anymore for this team. And
I totally agree.
I don't know who, as young players on this team, really established themselves last year to the point where, okay, I don't need to see any more from you in the preseason. Edgerrin Cooper, that's the first name that pops out. As far as the young players, not the established McKinneys and, Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs, Elton Jenkins, those guys, or Aaron Banks even after he gets his second deal. But anyone who's on your first contract, on your rookie contract still, should play in the preseason at some point.
I bet Edgerrin Cooper plays some. Yeah. I bet he plays a little bit.
That's a name that I would rather not.
Isaiah Simmons will get in the game. He'll play because you want to see him. You just want to see if what we're trying to ask him to do, he can do in a live game situation. I think Isaiah Simmons is a guy like that. I'm assuming Van Ness will play. Honestly, the defensive side of the ball is going to play more than the offensive starters, I would think. Kenny Clark's not stepping on that field. Devontae Wyatt will play some. Rashawn Gary, I wouldn't put him out there. Why does he need to be out there?
'Cause
playing against the other team's twos,
right? I
and
mean,
three, like no.
He plays like a 2 sometimes, so I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
said his
you
name.
just have to
Got you
always got to set me off with that. No,
But who? Yeah, I mean, who you gonna put out there? Keyshawn. I don't. I mean, why?
Every
why would he,
single
why would
member
he
of
play?
the secondary should play except for McKinney because the secondary is the biggest question mark by far. I would love to see everyone in the linebacking room play as well. If you want to take off Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark from the defensive line, sure, that makes sense because they are on their second contracts, like I just said. But everyone else should get reps. The offensive line, Zach Tom doesn't need to play. Elton Jenkins doesn't need to play.
Jordan Morgan needs to play the whole game.
Jordan Morgan needs to play all 5 positions at the exact same time. That's what I need to see out of Jordan
right
Morgan.
Down the line.
Yes. Every series go from left tackle to right tackle, all the way down the line. Just play that because that's what they're doing to him already.
Every play,
Yes.
you should switch.
Yeah, wherever
that
wherever they want to make the strong side, just put Jordan Morgan over there. Just make a huge tell on where the play's going at this point because I want all the action on him to see something at this point.
just announce we're good. We're throwing left. Rush on this side. Like bring it. Let's go.
They should bring in who are they playing again? The Jets. They should have Jermaine Johnson line up on Jordan Morgan the whole game just for helping the Packers out the entire time. Whoever they want there.
Do you think Garrett Wilson should play for the Jets?
No, he's got a second contract.
Okay.
Anyone who's got a second contract
right,
where
so
you're making
that's your sticking point.
Yes.
Now. Okay, I like that. That's fine. Okay,
that feels like it's fair. And unless you're quarterback, I also want to see you one series in each game. One series each game.
Edgerrin, Cooper, all those guys will probably get first quarter series or first quarter. I would think. If you have proven to be a starter in this league, that is max. I feel like you should go, especially in this first game, and then you see what you got. You have to see what you have in these other guys, and I think the secondary. It's a lot of see what you have, right? You're going to play, especially in those backup safety roles. That's why it's I don't think you play McKinney or Williams back there.
No,
you put Zane Anderson.
I'll get some Evan Williams reps. I'm okay with seeing Evan Williams reps.
No, I don't want to see it.
I don't even know if he's going to start. They want Javon Bullard on the field all the time now too.
Do you think Bullard?
They're both gonna get reps.
Maybe
for
you
sure.
put Bullard and Williams out there for
series. Sure. And Keyshawn Nixon has to because I need him to guard up against the one of the lineup. Just guard the X and see how he does as well. First preseason game.
Not playing.
Yeah, I mean they're just not going to play. It's going to all blow back in my face now, and Edgerrin Cooper is going to have the worst injury ever on a preseason game. But
don't say that.
I'm just saying it's it should be the logic should be play the guys who aren't on their second contract.
And I don't want to be I'm a realist. I don't want to be negative about this, but yes, the expectation somebody will have a significant injury in one
somewhere
or all of these
in the
preseason
NFL.
games.
Yes, of course.
I mean, someone that you wish didn't get hurt is going to get hurt in these preseason games, and it's just going to be why? Why did we do that? And that's always the question.
Just make football 25 games, no preseason. That would be awesome. Everyone wants that.
Go with Drew Wagner and be a Cincinnati Bengals fan. They're playing their starters, so you can be a Bengals fan now.
I'm gonna pass. I'll pass. John Morton of AGT Golf Book, the author of AGT Golf Book, will be joining us here. He's going to join us for On the Green segment because Mason will not be in tomorrow. We'll play it back again tomorrow, but should be a good conversation with John. You ready to talk some golf, Mace?
I'm ready. Let's go.
It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the PGA Tour? What course do you need to get out and play? What's the latest from the local golf pro? It's time for On the Green, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis. Presented by Verizon, Milwaukee's #1 network, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Yes, another edition of On the Green on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More. Joining us now, it is John Morton, author of AGT Golf Book. Follow him on Twitter at JohnMorton215. John, how are we doing today, my friend?
Fantastic. Appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Awesome, John. Yeah, I really appreciate you jumping on the green on the Mason Crosby Show. One of my favorite segments because we get to talk a little bit of golf. So just tell everybody a little bit about your golf story, like how you got into the game, where you're at and kind of your PGA Pro journey, and then then we'll just kind of dive in from there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And again, thanks for having me on today, Mason. It's been a long time. You and I have kind of interacted through our mutual friendship with Purcell Farms and Farm Links and Vapor.
That's right.
That's great to finally get to chat with you. But
yeah,
awesome. So I've been playing golf for almost 3 decades now. Grew up in Philadelphia and became a PGA professional for about a decade. A club professional, that is, not on tour, but running golf courses, managing golf courses, things of that nature, and left the industry a few years back. And at the time that I left the industry, I really started to actually dive into golf history and learning all about the origins of the game, not just here in the U.S., but the origins of the game over in the U.K., in Scotland, and in St. Andrews. And that's really where the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years has led me is over to Scotland quite a few times. I'll actually be going over literally next Friday again.
Oh, man, come on. I was just talking about a Scotland-Ireland golf trip with one of my buddies yesterday. So I'm going to get another one on the books, yeah.
Absolutely. So been diving into the history of the game over the last few years and more specifically collecting artifacts and memorabilia, related to the history of the game. And earlier this year, you mentioned AGT, that stands for Old Grey Tune, which is kind of a nickname or a moniker for St. Andrews in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
So I founded a book publishing and distribution company here in the United States, specifically to help authors overseas get their books over here into the U.S. market. So I founded Old Grey Tune Golf Books and Collectibles to help bring the history of the game from overseas here to us in America.
Well, I'm going to jump in here because now you brought it up. Like, what's the coolest piece of memorabilia you got from the history of golf now here, John? Because I don't know if we should have saved this for the end, but now I'm curious because I don't even know. Like, do you have one of Tiger's red polos? Like, what are artifacts
I think
here?
It's old school, and I think I saw one of your more recent ones. Is that golf ball? Is that your favorite right now?
So that is undoubtedly my favorite, and it shot up to the most prestigious item in my collection, undoubtedly. So, Tommy, to your question, I actually just posted yesterday and shared the story of something that I just acquired last week. And I will actually literally be flying over to London next Monday for 24 hours just to be able to pick this item up and come back with it.
Wow. That's awesome.
I bought a golf ball, Tommy, from that was made 175 years ago.
Oh,
by Old Tom Morris.
That's so cool. What?
So the thread that I posted on Twitter really gives a lot of the history about the golf ball, but Old Tom Morris was kind of the grandfather of the game of golf over in Scotland. He really helped kind of bring it through the 1800s and make it a modernized game. But it's a golf ball that he made himself around 1850, give or take a year or two.
And what is it made out of? Is it hay? Like, well, I can't. I'm looking through this right here. And I'm like, it's
straw.
like yellow. Like, is it what? I don't even know what golf balls are made of now. I guess like some sort. I just thought they were like rubber bands, just like infinitely tied together or something. What is it made out of?
Yeah, so the golf ball that I just bought from about 1850 is leather on the outside, and it's actually stuffed inside with feathers. It was actually
what
bird feathers that were used to stuff inside, and through a quite literally like a recipe, if you will. Very, very skilled artisans in the early and mid 1800s used a very detailed process to make golf balls with leather and bird feathers, quite literally.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it's made out of.
If it's held up 175 years, right? I mean, it's got to be made out of something pretty. It's incredible. You should go follow him on Twitter, John Morton215. He's got a nice thread on it here. It doesn't tell me that it's not made out of hay, so I don't know why it would have been a dumb question. But just looking across it right here,
Tommy's eyes are
cool.
big. I feel like Tommy's like really fascinated with this right now, which I am as well. I mean, that's crazy to think, and I can't imagine golf balls today. I don't know how long they last, but it's like to think that it's lasted that long and been passed around, and now you've located it and you're going to get this item. When are you doing that next week?
Yeah, I'm flying over Monday night, arriving Tuesday, and I'll
man.
be in London for all of about 6 hours. But I'm gonna. I decided this morning, actually, kind of last minute, that I was going to do that. So I'm going to document it all on Twitter, kind of do some live tweeting, essentially. Throughout the travel, but yeah, literally 24-hour trip just to fly over to pick that up.
That's so awesome. So then you're going to head up to Scotland after that, right? Is that the plan?
I'm coming back home, and then I'm going back.
You're going to come back,
yeah,
and then go. Wow, okay.
Well,
so
my wife is coming with me to Scotland, so I can't go over and not come with her and have her travel separately. So yeah, I'll come back over on Tuesday night, and then Friday afternoon we fly over to Scotland for 10 days. Actually.
Okay, awesome, and yeah, let me ask you a little deep dive into how your PGA being a club professional, that journey, and then we'll dive back into the AGT golf book and like kind of some of the special things that you've been able to showcase and get from overseas, to highlight the history of the game, because I'm a big history buff. I love all of that. That's why I love going to Scotland, going to Ireland, going and just seeing where all of these things started. It helps me to appreciate playing the game every time I get out there. At least that's what I tell Molly, my wife, is like, I just appreciate the game. I have to do this in honor of the ones that came before me. But yeah, tell everybody like what the different levels of PGA professionals are. And because I saw on your thing, you were a PGA Class A, right, pro. So just maybe just tell our listeners what that journey looks like and how you become a PGA professional at the club level.
Yeah, that's a great question. And when it comes to the PGA, what we're really talking about for your listeners, just to clarify, it's the PGA of America. The PGA of America is different from the PGA Tour. So the PGA of America represents the 28 to 30 plus thousand club professionals that are running your golf courses on a daily basis locally. They literally run the golf shop. They manage the staff. They run tournaments. They fill the golf shop with all the merchandise that's in there. They teach lessons. It encompasses a PGA professional wears a lot of hats at a golf course, as you guys know with your various club pros that you've had in your past on the green sessions or interviews. So when it comes to a PGA professional, though, that you've got Class A and Class B. Class B is basically a PGA professional in training. It's somebody that's going through the ropes. They're in the early years of their career, and they're going through some kind of formalized education, essentially on-the-job training as well, to kind of hone their skills and learn the ways of a PGA professional. And then once you go through a series of tests and exams, one of which is a playing ability test with the PGA of America, and you pass all of those, then you're able to get elevated to your Class A PGA status, which is, in a sense, kind of a light metaphor here, kind of like a doctor getting his PhD. It's that certification that helps people understand, helps outsiders understand, hey, this individual is trained, they're educated, they're knowledgeable, and they know exactly what they're talking about.
It's like you're a black belt in golf, John, at that point.
In a lot of ways, yeah. In a lot of ways.
How long does that process usually take?
So there's two different ways somebody can do that. Either through college, through like a formalized 4-year degree, where over those 4 years they're doing various internships, but it's a full bachelor's degree. That's what I did going through college. But a lot of club professionals will do it just as they may leave college and become an assistant professional, or just join the golf staff at a nearby club and then want to go through that process. That might take them 2 to 3 years. But it's some
process.
pretty intensive online training and classes and exams they would go through.
Awesome. We got John Morton, founder of AGT Golf Book. You can find him at John Morton 215, former PGA Club Pro and collector of all things, the history of golf. So let's dive into this venture you're on now with the AGT Golf Book. Just kind of tell everybody like what it is and like how they can maybe go find these historical books and these books that maybe we don't have ultimate access to all the time. Just kind of tell us that journey and how people can get hooked into that.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I was fortunate to make a trip over to Scotland with my family, with my wife, my brother, and both my parents for my father's 70th birthday. We took them over there to kind of celebrate, kind of go explore the heritage and history of our family, trace that back to Scotland. But we also went to St. Andrews and went to the 150th Open, British Open that was there that week.
So awesome.
And while we were there, I was able to make a number of connections with some historians and some authors that I've gotten to know through social media, and stayed in touch with them. And last year, my wife and I went back over to Scotland, just the two of us, for a golf trip. And I was able to reconnect with a number of those individuals and really kind of get to know them at a much deeper level. And one of the things that I learned while I was with them was the challenge that they have with sharing and spreading, quite literally, the history of the game, just because of the cost.
So interesting.
The high cost of shipping, essentially, for an American buyer to buy one of their books from overseas. If you buy one book, shipping is going to be a lot of money. It's going to be very costly. So I worked with a number of authors to kind of form this company that I founded back at the beginning of the year, and I'm importing all of their books from St. Andrews, from Scotland, from the UK and beyond, here into the U.S. so that Americans can have easier access to the history of the game. Because that's really what I enjoy and appreciate most, is being able to share the history of the game, being able to not just collect these artifacts and memorabilia, but being able to share the stories of them. Because, Mason, to your point, what really kind of strikes a chord with a lot of people is when you can make a connection with an individual that lived 150, 175, 200 years ago. And being able to bring that history here is something that I'm really proud of.
John Morton joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. And just honestly, like, no shade at any of our previous guests. This one's like easily the most engaged I've been right now on this. I'm all in on it.
Tommy is locked in.
But I have a question now here, like getting back into the game today, right? Mm-hmm. And how you are now. Like, when you're well, first of all, I guess, like, what's your handicap here? Because Mason likes to brag about his handicap all the time.
Ask that. Yeah, I'm like, what's your handicap index?
If you're collecting,
I don't brag about it. Relax.
I mean, the number keeps changing every time you do too. So, what's your handicap, John?
I'm about a 3 handicap, give or take.
Ooh, okay. Sounds like it'd be a good match between you and Mason any given week, whenever he decides it's 3.
That's where I'm at right now, yeah. When I decide I'm 3.
So, like, looking at the game today, like, what similarities do you see now from the history of the game, and then now how has it evolved into what it has been? And looking at it, like, golf, the popularity of golf over the last 5 years seems like it's exponentially grown, right? During the pandemic, like, that was one of the better things for golf because it was one of the still things going on. You could go outside, people could still go do that activity. But like looking at what the history has been all the way from a 175-year-old golf ball to now today, like what similarities are still there other than like maybe the etiquette and what goes into it, but like that you see still implemented that is very important in today's golf?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. And what the first thing that comes to mind when you say what's similar between the game today and back then is a lot of the things that we argue about today. The game argued about, golfers argued about, rules officials argued about back then too. Distance being a good example of that. People say today that the golf ball goes too far, that clubs, make the ball go too far. That argument has been made several times over as new versions of golf balls have been created over the course of the history of the game. So history repeats itself is the first thing that I would say.
Sure.
But the other thing, kind of along similar lines, from a history repeats itself standpoint, is new types of clubs coming out. People talk about. I shared a thread a couple of weeks ago about a variety of different, unique, one-off prototype clubs that were created about 1900, so 125 years ago. And people talk about Bryson DeChambeau today being so innovative in his unique style of, creating all irons that are one length and creating, a putter that goes straight down, into the head. He's not as outside the box as people think he is, because a lot of those things were also done 100+ years ago. So the game has reinvented itself many times over, but all the while kind of retaining, Tommy, to your point, the etiquette has remained, the foundations of the game have remained in terms of many of the original rules, and kind of the aura of the game has really remained over the course of history.
All right, man. Hey, we will have you on again, and I want to I actually want to deep dive into some of these historical books and some of the things that you're bringing over, because I think Tommy and I could talk to you about this the rest of the show. But unfortunately, we have to get to the next segment and get on a break here. But I tell our listeners before you go, kind of plug your stuff. I want to know what courses you're playing over in Scotland, so just let me know where you're playing and what you expect to shoot, on all these historic courses. So finish with that. Tell us where we can find all your stuff and all the courses you're going to hit whenever you go to Scotland next week.
Yeah, so on both Twitter and Instagram, you already mentioned my handle at John Mortons, JOHN MORTON 215. Same handle on both platforms. And then Old Gray Tune Golf Books, my company, is if you find me on there, you can find the link to the website. But the website is oldgreytunegolf.com, and that's spelled AULDGREYTOUN. So it's a little bit of a unique spelling, but that goes back to the Scottish origins of the game, and kind of that Scottish version of the spelling. So oldgreytunegolf.com is where you can find a lot of those books and be able to dive into the history of the game. And then to your other question, Mason, real quick, the courses I'm playing over there, we're going to put in for the ballot for the old course at St. Andrews, but we are lined up to play the new course as well as Jubilee right there in town.
I played Jubilee. That's a tough one. Honestly, I think it's the toughest course there in St. Andrews.
I'm excited about Jubilee. I'm excited about that. We didn't play that last year when we went, but that's going to be fun. We're also playing Crail nearby, and then we're going over off the west coast of Scotland to a small island, actually, to be able to play the island of Arran, be able to play a number of courses, including Shiskin, which is a very, very well-known 12-hole golf course, which is pretty cool. And then we finished the trip at Prestwick, which is the home of the
original Open. Yeah,
exactly. We're playing 36 holes at Prestwick on our final day, so it's going to be a fun trip.
All right. Well, I'll see you in Scotland next week. So
join me. Would love it.
Are you going to beat your wife? That's my next question.
No, I may be
she's a stick, huh?
I may be a 3 handicap, but she's a +1, and she plays professionally. So she
all right.
Golf is a humbling game for me. It's a humbling game.
Well, that'll be fun. Well, John, hey, really appreciate you joining on the Green segment presented by Windows Alice and Alice Windows Doors and More. Yeah, just really appreciate you jumping on. We'll have you again on another time to talk about all the history of golf. That was excellent. Really appreciate it, John.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, guys, for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you. John Morton joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show for another edition of On the Green, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More. Mason, we got a surprise for you, it sounds like, on the other side here when we get to Drew Wagner. That's what I was told to tell you. That's all I know, honestly. All right?
I love surprises.
It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Drew Wagner up next.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis. Brought to you by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball, because fundamental development starts with focus. Find them at focusbaseball.com.
Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show. Hour number 2 of the show officially underway. And before we get over to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, I have our boss, our colleague, our friend, Mr. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer in studio here. Mr. Pfeiffer, take it away.
Yeah, when I woke up this morning, I didn't realize we were going to have a surprise for Mason Crosby until I was walking down the hallway and heard something coming out of our production imaging director's office, John McDonough. I heard it. I'm like, what is that? And then he played it for me, and I was like, we need to get that on the air right away, because it's about this show. I mean, it's all about this show, Mason. So, all right, Tommy, let's hear it.
Welcome to the Fan, kicking with the best. It's Mason Crosby time. He lines up under the Friday night lights. Number 27 always stays inside. 39 yards.
This is AI generated. Yeah. 100%.
Yes.
Mason Crosby's ready for one more show.
Yes. Is this?
He's the king of the field, but hammer and nail. When the ball's in the air, you know he won't fail. Mason Crosby, legend in cleats. At the Fan, we celebrate every single feat. Announcer with 10 seconds left. It's 48 yards for the win. Crosby
What's
sweeps it
going
through.
on?
The crowd don't wow.
There's still 45 seconds.
Yep.
From Green Bay's ice to the desert heat, he split the uprights in every seat. Kickoff specialist, a hero on air, with Mitch Thunder Nellis right beside him there. He's the king of the field, the hammer and
What is
nail.
going
When the
on?
ball's in the air, you know he won't fail. Mason Crosby, legend in cleats. At the Fan, we celebrate his 10 single feet. On the Fan, we salute the man with the boot. Mason Crosby still giving us that country truth.
I mean,
Unbelievable. Why did this happen?
glaze-
Is this our new intro?
It's so good.
I mean,
What is going
what
on
better
over there?
timing than to bring in Drew Wagner of Forbes
Yeah.
Sports?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Drew,
I hope he was listening, Drew.
how much vomit is on the floor in front of you, Drew?
It's 10:15. I should not be as drunk as I'm about to get.
I
There's a drinking song. I feel like we could just, we could sit around drinking to that one.
oh man, like that was so unfortunate that Drew was on right after that.
No, that was perfect.
I-
He has to be on now.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us.
Thanks
here.
for that, Sparky.
Yes,
Thank you for
Sparky, that was
You
awesome.
betcha. Have a good day.
That's what we
okay.
needed for this week.
Drew, how was the fair yesterday? Because did you hear anything like that yesterday at the fair while you were hanging out, walking around?
I never got down there. I had some car trouble, so I never made it.
Got it.
But I guess hearing that,
Would you have turned around and walked away
I
had
would have
that been
walked
played?
right the hell out. Here's the thing: is I'm picturing this like old man band wearing
exactly.
cheese heads and Packer jerseys
Yes.
playing this.
Gosh, that's
and-
so perfect.
Oh, God.
I had no idea that's what was going to happen. And if I had any call on this, Drew, you would not have heard that song. I know you. I wouldn't have put you through that.
Yeah, that must have been just like
but,
torture. For Drew.
15 minutes late. What's another minute 45 to
I was
Drew
not,
Wagner
why was it
here.
so long?
It was
like
so,
what?
And that was all just AI generated, by the way. Like that was not a real voice that sang that at all. That was a fake voice.
No way.
So yeah,
It was like if country and polka had a sordid affair in an inbred child together.
Drew, I feel like I've heard you described the same way.
Yeah, oh my gosh, unbelievable!
I would have thought I'd been right up your alley here, Drew. Let's get off of this. All right,
my
I can't.
gosh.
The Mason Crosby glaze is too much right now. I can't take it anymore.
I don't even know if there was glaze there. I mean, I don't know what's happening. And who created that?
That was McD. McD will get that.
McD,
I'll make
nice.
sure that we get that audio file.
Yeah,
so
I need that one.
Yeah,
just
that'll
for
be your
some good laughs
ringtone
sometime.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew, let's switch over to the Brewers. How awesome they have been now. And yesterday they pick up the 5-4 victory over Atlanta. A 6-0 road trip. They put up over 50 runs. They didn't commit an error the entire time. This Brewers baseball team, the identity is clear, and it is going to be that they are going to just play better than you each and every day at this point.
That's pretty much all it is. They are going to play better than you every day. They are fundamentally sound. They do all the little things, and guess what? They hit home runs too. It's time to accept the fact that this Brewers team is really damn good.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were looking at that. I mean, Andrew Vaughn. We need to bring him up again because he has just been unbelievable. I was questioning if maybe there were 2 Andrew Vaughns on the team and they accidentally sent the wrong one, just because what he was doing prior to getting to the Brewers is not this Andrew Vaughn. I mean, the guy is just electric. He has been so solid. Just kind of speak to what Andrew Vaughn has been doing and how exceptional and special he is right now.
Well, he better do it for at least 10 more days because the Brewers just announced this morning they're adding an Andrew Vaughn T-shirt giveaway on the 26th. So he's got to keep that up for another 10 days. Otherwise, the Brewers are going to look pretty foolish. But
I don't like that because that's bad luck. And whenever they announce Miz's T-shirt giveaway, he went on to the IL.
Good point.
Maybe they need to stop doing this this whole T-shirt thing.
Yeah, maybe, but all sides point to this is the real deal with Andrew Vaughn. That guy is locked in at the plate right now. He's seeing pitches better than just about anybody on that team. And when pitchers are making mistakes, he is absolutely punishing for them. It's fun to watch. We've seen guys like this go on tears before. I go back to 2018. Jesus Aguilar went on a tear like that. Who was it? Eric Thames got hurt. Aggie stepped in and just absolutely raked his way for the next 2 months into an all-star berth. This is at the end of the season, and we're watching Andrew Vaughn kind of rake his way into a playoff berth. It's fun to watch a guy like that when he's just clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, Drew Wagner joining us here. And Drew, yesterday we also heard some news that the reporting was originally wrong on the control with Andrew Vaughn, that he doesn't have 1 year of team control after this season. He has 2 years of team control after this season. Is that now the correct number? And how did that get misled in the beginning, even with Andrew Vaughn?
So I think what it came down to, and I had Jack and Stupid Kurt explain this to me like I'm a 3-year-old because, well, sometimes I'm a 3-year-old. But basically the time that he spent in the minors this year with Chicago and with Milwaukee, he's not going to hit the full 6 years of service time by the end of next season. So that means the Brewers will have 2 more years of him after this before he hits free agency.
That's massive. It feels huge right there.
That's
to hear
unreal,
that.
yeah.
And so then now, is it just 2 more arbitration years? Is that what comes now from Andrew Vaughn, Drew?
2 more arbitration years. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then. But, I mean, incredible to see what he's been doing. He's been probably one of the best players in Major League Baseball since called up. There's other names that have definitely been mentioned, but Andrew Vaughn, the Linsanity run he's on right now is truly unreal. And how about Blake Perkins, too? What a road trip for Blake Perkins, Drew. 3 homers over that stretch. He plays a great center field. Another guy that's trying to compete to get into this lineup each and every day now.
Yeah, it feels like something really clicked when Perkins came back. You felt like there was something there that had been missing. And that's not a knock on anyone that's been playing. It wasn't a knock on Churio. It wasn't a knock on Collins, anything like that. It was just, he was a big part of what they did last year. He was a big part of it defensively. He was a big part in the offense, just the way that he went through his at-bats. Getting him back in there I think something really clicked. I think something really just started to lock back in, and you got some of that magic that you had back last year. And it's no surprise that the Brewers are playing their best baseball now, and Blake Perkins is back in the lineup.
I love it. So when do we expect like a Jackson Cheerio? When do we expect him back? I can't remember how
Sometime
long.
in the next 2 to 4 weeks is what we were told with
Wow,
the medical update earlier this week. So it's going to be a little bit yet.
Okay. Well, again, you can plug in a Blake Perkins and go out there and just kind of, fill that void. Churio's going to get healthy and then have, kind of be there for this playoff run, for this push. Let's see. What do we got coming up on the docket? Oh, a big one against the Mets. So let's talk about this series coming up against the Mets. What are you feeling here? Obviously going to be, a much tougher test than these past two series. What do you think the Brewers are going to do against this Mets team?
It's definitely going to be tougher. There's going to be some very good pitching in this series. They haven't announced the starter yet for Saturday. Yeah, Senga going in the opener, and then I forget who's going on Sunday. They haven't announced the Saturday starter yet, but the Brewers are sending their 3 best guys out too. So, I mean, I'm expecting low scoring, grinded out affairs. The Mets have been slumping a bit. They dropped 8 of 9 coming into the series. So, they're playing a little bit wounded right now. Brewers have to take advantage of that. That could change, off day, get out on the road. That could reset things. But, the Brewers need to show a little bit something here. People are going to point to them saying, oh, well, you're beating up on bad teams. Okay, fine. Brewers have gone 9-0 against 2 of the best teams in the National League.
Yeah.
If you can take a series from the Mets here, that adds to the resume pretty nicely.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I mean, that narrative doesn't play with this team. Yeah, they are handling the bad teams and just going and sweeping 2 bad teams in a row. But they also swept the Dodgers. They smoked the Dodgers. They beat up on the Cubs. Like, this team is good. You cannot write that narrative with this team about just beating bad teams and just kind of splitting with the other really good teams. This is the best team in baseball, and they need to get the credit that they deserve, especially in the national media.
And this weekend goes a long way to that. You hold your own against the Mets when you have the New York media in town. I guarantee people will really start talking after this weekend.
Drew Wagner joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Follow him on Twitter @by Andrew Wagner. Drew, just taking a look around the rest of the National League in general and trying to compare the Brewers to the rest of the National League. When you ask, or when people ask who their next best competition is, or who is a team that they should be stacking themselves up against, is it as simple as just going 90 miles south and really the Chicago Cubs seem to be the Brewers' biggest competition right now in the NL?
I mean, right now, yeah, they are, because it's the team you're trying to hold off and win the division, and that's the first step. You can't really focus on the Phillies and the Dodgers until you take care of the Cubs. And just so happens that the Cubs also have like the second best record in the league too. So it accomplishes a bunch of different things. But you got to focus. You got to focus on what's ahead of you. And right now, that is creating more separation from the Cubs, knocking them down, taking control of the division. Once you have that locked up, then you can start focusing on getting that best record and that top seed.
Yeah, and it seems like the Cubs are also now like feeling that pressure too. Cubs Twitter has been a great place the last week. If you haven't been integrated in that, just all the sky is falling, the panic is here. And the Brewers, we talked about hunted versus hunter. They look just as comfortable being the hunted right now, Drew, as they were being the hunters.
Yeah, they do. And I think it helps that there's still pressure on it. We talked about this last year. They were basically unchallenged in the division last year. Nobody came within sniffing distance of them. Nobody was breathing down their neck. Cubs are still breathing down their neck. There's still a long way to go. And I think that will help this team. I think that will help this team stay hungry and stay focused on the task at hand. Last year was pretty much a foregone conclusion that they were going to win the division and go to the playoffs. At the end, they had a little bit of a surge there where they were trying to fight for a bye, but they didn't really have anything to really play for, if that makes sense. I think they're in a different position this year where they have to stay locked in every single game because every single game matters right now. And I think that will help them.
Well, Drew, I know you said it from the very beginning, and you're probably not as surprised as some people are with this team. But at this point in the season, would you say this team has underachieved or overachieved, or just are the team that that they should be right now?
You know, it's hard to say. I thought they would be a 90-win team. I thought they would win the division. I didn't think they would, have a dominant stretch like they've had the last 2 months or so. You could say that at times they've underachieved, definitely early on, and maybe now they're overachieving a little bit. So you average it all out, they're doing what they should be. There have been stretches where they've been great. There have been stretches where they haven't. They finally managed to put it all together, and they're doing it at the right time.
I love it. They are who they say they are, and they are the Milwaukee Brewers, and they are amazing. So they are what I needed this summer because, they just they crushed it. We were able to highlight all the amazing things. I am so excited for what this team is going to bring here in these next few months. And I mean that's. I don't know. That's all I have on this Brewers team at the moment. I am excited for this weekend. I think that this Mets matchup is going to be a real good, kind of test for them. And again, to get some recognition on that national stage, because I think there are players on this team that need to get more recognition and be options for some of those Rookie of the Year, MVPs, things like that, because there are some exceptional players on this team.
Yeah, it should be just an awesome rest of the summer. It's not even over yet. The Brewers right now, 70 wins, the most in Major League Baseball. Great summer so far, and a lot more to come, and hopefully a fantastic fall as well, too. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on today. Have a good rest of your day, my friend.
I'm going to go and try and bleed out my ears now to get that song out of my head.
What was that?
Welcome to the
What,
fan.
Drew?
Yeah.
Every time.
Send it to him every time.
Drew, have a good one. Have a good rest of your day, Drew.
Bye, boys.
See you, Drew.
There he is, Drew Wagner of
troll.
the Mason Crosby. It is catchy. I'll give it that. It's a catchy song. As much as it just completely does the opposite job of humbling you, I do enjoy the song.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I think. I don't know. I don't even know we celebrate every feat, all the feet. It's kind of a foot fetish song. I don't know what's going on.
Celebrate feet with Crosby. There it is. Coming up, let's get to the break here. We'll continue the Mason Crosby Show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We haven't had this one in a while.
Good God.
It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Drew Wagner jumps off the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And we had a couple of ideas here for this last segment, and we're just going to call
Let me go here, Tommy. Let me go.
Go ahead.
It's not Festivus, but we are going to air our grievances. That is what's happening here. And on the Mason Crosby Show, in this fifth segment, 10-20 hour, things can get a little heated on some stuff that's just happening out in the sports world that we're just not sure about. And usually it revolves around NIL, and we'll hit on that. I just want to open it up, though. Anyone that has like a grievance that they just want to talk about, jump on that Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Something that's just kind of irking you right now that that you need to kind of air out. Let's get it going. But I want to start with the smell. We talked about these smelling salts, the ammonia, like. Again, what is the NFL doing? Like, why is so the NFLPA releases this, and again, like people are getting paid to do this, like to put these statements out, to go back and forth. There's lawyers involved. Like someone is making money by just going back and forth about the smelling salt situation. And I guess the clarity was, guys, hey, and everybody, this is a good thing. Players can still use it. All right, they did not restrict their freedom solely, but the players have to buy it themselves. Teams cannot provide smelling salts or ammonia for players anymore.
Wait till they
Oh
ban,
my gosh. Are they going to get fined if they do? Like how do you know where it comes from?
I can't
what
wait
is going
for next year when the team can't provide water. Like, you just got to bring your own water to the games. Team is not allowed to bring in any water here now. It's just going to be not allowed. NFLPA discussions on where you can put the logo on the bottle so that when you're drinking it, it can be seen on TV. And I don't know when we're going to start, but maybe like every Monday morning, like after football season, like that first Monday of Packers, like the smelling salts at 9 a.m. Like, we got to just start ripping them immediately, first day after every Packers game, I feel like.
You know what? I'm going to buy you 10,000 smelling salts, and I'm going to, we're sending a bucket to the station. Like, I will provide that.
Yes.
Because teams can't provide it, but I'll provide it for our show. That is what I'm willing to do. I will take that extra step. You cannot tell us no.
Yes, I love it.
Right.
The Crosby's crack sticks, right? Something like
they
that.
won't hold us down. They will not hold us down.
Well, and we always
They're taking advantage of the PA.
Yes.
They don't have a leader right now. They don't know what's going on. The NFL's they're just taking stuff away from the players.
David
and now
White.
It's like, go
Where
fight
are
this.
You? David
fight
White.
This.
We need you here now more than ever, David White. Just when we all thought we needed him most, he vanished. Yes.
If this is a CBA line item in the next negotiation, we need to bring back this for the players. It's ridiculous that you took this away. We want this back. Next thing you know, like the players are going to have to fill the tubs with their own water to go and get in the hot tub or in the cold tub. Like, sorry, we can't provide water in the tubs anymore. You need to bring your own.
And another topic we always get to here is name, image, and likeness. NIL.
Oh gosh, yeah, this one's crazy.
There was a suit out. A judge has dismissed the 1983 NC State team's NIL lawsuit versus the NCAA. A North Carolina judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by the 1983 NC State men's basketball team, shutting down the national championship winner's request for name, image, and likeness compensation. They are now trying to, like you said, retroactively get NIL money out of the NCAA.
Yeah.
What is going on, Mason?
Thank goodness this judge shut this down. Imagine if they had found somebody to agree to this. Like the can of worms that would have opened up, it would have bankrupted all the universities.
I mean, just the deal that O.J. Simpson's family gets after
Right.
all this,
Like,
right?
what happens?
What is going down with that? I mean, Mason Crosby.
And how do you quantify that? Like, what is like the number there? Like, it's just like everybody gets $15. Like, I don't know. Everyone gets $100,000. Like, what is the number you're going after there? Again, somebody got paid to go and do this whole lawsuit, and then it gets dismissed. Somebody made money in this.
Yes.
The players now aren't, obviously, but it's like I don't understand these things.
12 players have filed a suit requesting a jury trial and, quote, reasonable compensation for
a jury trial.
Yes, they wanted to put this up against the judge, have a full trial, yes, about where they should have been paid, which, again, like, are you taking the average NBA salary of a 1983 basketball player?
I think you got to go look back and be like, all right, what were TV deals at the time? Like, what was, like,
there was four channels.
We had cable then.
No,
this was back when there was cable TV. Oh my gosh, Andy Herman. This was your time. Like,
there was no remote. Andy Herman was the remote at his house.
Seriously,
right?
I'm pretty sure
channel.
you had free cable. Like, it was just there. So, like, nobody was paying anything.
Yeah, it was Johnny Carson and the NC State Wolfpack. Like, that's what they were rocking on TV back in the day.
Like, Cardiac Pack is, I guess, what they were called, which is, it's a pretty cool name. I mean, like, so get paid for that name. Maybe, like, trademark it and be like, all right, we're going to, now we're going to get paid for this name.
And then now the statement from the, what is it? The plaintiffs, I guess, in this from the NC State. We are proud of these Cardiac Pack players who stood up in the national fight for justice against a system that colludes to exploit young and often vulnerable student athletes, says lawyer Stacey Miller, who represented the former NC State players in a statement as well. Shut up! Stop! All right, I am the exact same age range as these guys were in during that time, and I am all in on NIL. I really am. I think that if you can you should be able to sell your autograph. You should be
That's
able
how things work, though.
Yes.
Like, if you didn't get it done while you were in it, like, why do you get to go back and claw it away whenever?
Right.
Like, you didn't get it done then. I'm sorry. The timing didn't work. Like, all of that. Again, that'd be like me going back to Colorado right now and or going and do it. I could do that, right? If this had passed, then I could go back and be like, oh yeah, I took some pictures, like I did, y'all used my name, image, likeness, and a couple things, all of that. Like, anybody could go back and do this. Like, you cannot open up that can of worms.
Okay, now here's the next question. Now we devise from it. Wait, we got a little bit of time. If you want to join, 414-677-1250, Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. If you could retroactively talk about money being made through NIL, who's catching the biggest bag off the top of the head? Like, just from college athlete status symbol.
Man.
Like, who do you think could have been?
Reggie Bush. Just give Reggie Bush his money back.
Yeah, right.
Just give him his stuff. I mean, just give it all back. Make sure, take care of the guy. Come on.
Obviously, that name comes to mind. Johnny Manziel, another guy who was just making all the money he wanted in the world anyway at that time.
I'm pretty
it didn't
sure
really
he
matter.
did it anyways. He didn't care.
Well,
how about Johnny Manziel? Let's talk about that and then we'll keep on this topic. But how he was like, I'm thinking about coming back, and his agent's like, all right, cool, I'll call some UFL team, and he's like, I'm not playing in the UFL. What? He's just like, just get me on an NFL team.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
It's like, what?
I mean,
you don't think you should, you probably need to go onto a UFL team first?
Yeah,
Mitch just texted us, and that's who I was going to say next was Bo Jackson.
Yep.
Bo Jackson. That guy, he probably, think about what he probably even, the amount he got paid for playing both sports and, all of his ads and all that. But again, that was what the money was then. Why should you get paid today, what everyone's getting paid right now, what you did in, the 80s?
Right,
It's
you playing against plumbers
the money
on the
wasn't
other
the
side.
same then. it just wasn't the same. I mean, it's crazy.
Right, and exactly.
The game has evolved. The money is bigger. Like, everything is different. I'm sorry you played at a different time where you didn't get to tap into all of this stuff. But I do think there is an appreciation for paving the way in a lot of different spaces. I will say in the NFL and the PA, they do pay it back some. There are funds where it's like for retired players and players prior to free agency and all of that. There are funds that there are some retroactive payments for time of service, which I think that's great. That's the NFLPA's prerogative. There's benefits for that, but it can't be like, gosh, I wish I had played in 2025 and made all this money, so I'm going to go. Right. I'm going to go try to get my bag from when I played in 1983.
Why would Bart Starr not go approach the Packers at the time and be like, "I want Aaron Rodgers' contract now"? Right?
Yeah, he's like, if I had played today, I would have gotten $50 million a year.
Exactly.
Like,
it's not
Bart
how
Starr
it works.
Jr. Come on, man.
Bart Starr Jr. And there was another report here now. At least Archie Manning reported that Arch Manning won't declare for the 2026 NFL draft. Now, I feel like we hear these stories all the time.
Won't? Sorry,
will not. But I feel like we've heard stories like this all the time from like family, he's all in on this, he's all in on that, whatever it is. Once that, like, if he has a good season and he could be the number 1 overall pick, like, that'll go all out the window, right? But another thing where that conversation probably doesn't happen in the 1980s, right? You want to go make your money immediately.
You're going.
And you're leaving now, but because of Arch Manning, who has an NIL valuation, which means nothing, by the way, of about $8 million, because we saw the same evaluation for Cooper Flagg, and then the report came out that he made $30 million while he was at Duke. So I'm sure Arch Manning, he's making more than some starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I would say that's fair to say.
For sure. Yeah. Now in the day of, like with NIL and then being able to get paid by the school, like there is going to be that question of, do you want to stay longer? So if that is a positive where you actually get some of these college athletes to hang around a little bit longer, that will help college sports because you're going to have great players playing longer than they had whenever it was like, oh man, I'm getting my couple years and I'm going to the NFL or I'm going to the the NBA or WNBA. I'm getting out of here.
Sure.
But here's another thing with like the 80s and all that. Like there weren't as many NCAA rules in place.
Right.
I bet a lot of these players on this 1983 basketball team were getting benefits outside of the, cars, things like that. I mean, I've heard stories of, the NCAA football players in the 70s and I mean, SMU got the death penalty because of it. But it was just like, you were getting stuff. There were things like people were trying to skirt the system forever. The NCAA went real hard line for a long time, where it's like nothing. You can't do anything to help these these athletes out.
Sure,
which that was wrong because it's hard. I mean, it's hard being a student athlete, and I don't think many students would think it's bad for these these players to be compensated for what they are doing, on the field.
It's a job.
So
it's a job. I remember
it's a full-time gig.
I remember. So I graduated from UW, but I went to UW Parkside, the D2 school on the Illinois border. If you're familiar with it, in Kenosha, Summers technically. But I mean, these are D2 athletes.
I'm not familiar with it. But.
It's some people call it the Hawaii of Wisconsin. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway. I'm wondering, I'm hearing guys in classes, because it's such a small school at the time, these are D2 basketball players waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning so they can go to lifts, so they can go to practice. Then they got class for 4 hours. Then they got to go back to practice. And then maybe they got a game or they got to travel and whatever. And that's just to be a D2. That's just for the love of the game. Like, that's because you love ball right there. He's not going to the NBA. The schedules are crazy. And do I think that there should be something put in place so you could get some sort of compensation because you are pretty much physically unable to earn it any other way? I do. I really do believe that. And because if you're going to be a part of that and you're going to want the school wants you to represent them at their university, I understand why there could be some compensation there. But this is obviously like retroactive is crazy work from NC State.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, and now whether even though they lost, it is probably going to open up more of these types of things.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
there's going to be more of these lawsuits coming back, trying to retroactively, get something from the game, from NCAA. And again, I'm not pro NCAA. It's a crazy governing body. They do a lot of things wrong, but I mean, just this principle it's a tough one to say, like, you should retroactively get paid for this, what you did in the 80s or the 90s or whatever. It's wild.
Update here: the 1983
a lot of this on my brain.
The 1983 NC State Wolfpack receive unlimited supply of smelling salts from the NCAA.
Yes, seriously,
there's your retroactive compensation.
You got
there.
Yeah.
We got a break here.
We'll send you a couple packs of Gatorade each. It's fine. We got you.
Oh man, yeah, you'll have commercials during March Madness. Won't have anything else more than that. We got to get to your extra points here. Last day of the week here, Mason. Let's make it a good one. All right.
Yep. Golf is on the horizon. I'm ready to get this swing going. Yeah. I'm stretching this back, get this thing ready to roll. We look good in our polos today.
Yeah,
I feel like we're really nice.
Polos are a good touch. I like polos Fridays or something in the future as well. It is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Mason Crosby's Extra Points coming up next.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today? It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Well, this was an amazing day, but a weird day, too, because of some weird AI song that was created at the station. I need some. Can I get some compensation, name, image, and likeness for that deal? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get some of that going. Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait for every.
You can't just be throwing AI generated things with my name out there and not compensate me.
Where's my song? You know what?
I'm going to create one for you, Tommy.
I am airing a grievance in your extra point. I should have had a song here before Mason Crosby did. I'm sorry.
I agree. You do it all, man. You do it all. You're crushing
I don't want one. That would creep me out.
I'm going to keep this grievance stuff going for a moment because, proved you wrong earlier this week about the Jordan Love, Malik Willis stuff. Obviously, you didn't believe Malik Willis should be the starter, but you thought like a fan base might have an opinion on that. That was false. Mitch sent us something about the Savannah Bananas. Did you not think that people liked the Savannah Bananas too? Is this something that happened?
That is false.
What's this poll about that Mitch sent us?
So I am all good with supporting the Savannah Bananas. I'm totally okay with that. I am not asking,
as baseball.
I am not asking Major League Baseball to learn from the Savannah Bananas.
Oh,
no, I am not.
Okay,
All right. Banana ball is not
on the
baseball.
same page.
Yes, like Savannah Bananas, it's awesome.
It's entertainment.
Right? It's entertainment for sure.
I mean, it's
yes.
Harlem Globetrotters. It's it's like you're going to go to a show,
yes,
and be entertained and have fun, have the family. Like it's for your entertainment, not for the sport. They do, like, they're good athletes. They can play baseball.
Yes,
but they are there to entertain.
100% agree. And the Globetrotters is like the perfect example of that, right?
Yeah.
And the Globetrotters are legit. They used to come to Milwaukee. I believe it was every
we saw
New
them in
Year's
Green Bay
Eve.
almost every year.
Yeah, they were like traditionally here the same time every year, and they were awesome. They're always a fun time. They'd have like the world's tallest guy, and they'd have the full court shots going up in, like
go up in the stands and drain one from like up in the crowd.
Totally cool that the Savannah Bananas can do a backflip and catch the football. I understand. Do not do that in my baseball league, though. That is not that is not happening. No.
So you believe that there is that's what you might have said is there's a contingent of fans that maybe think that the Savannah Bananas brand of baseball
totally
should
BS.
be.
This is so whack. This is not what I said. There's you know what there is? There's a contingent of fans that think Mason Crosby says whatever he wants to say and pieces things together however he wants to.
I have an AI generated song now. I mean, I can do whatever I want.
Oh, man.
That's why that works.
I'm going to AI generate just the most insane Mason Crosby words. Like, I'm going to get your voice, piece it together of just things you've said on the show. It doesn't even need to be AI generated. It'll be your actual voice. I'm going to
oh my
just
God.
Like
Is
love
that what we're doing
Tommy.
now?
Yeah, like over and over again.
Okay.
Speaking of AI generated and our favorite robot, Mitch Nellis, down over at the fair. Mitch, how are things going down over there,
It's
my
getting weird
friend?
over here without you, Mitch. I mean, stuff's shaking and happening.
Meep boop dom bom.
Boop.
I am Mitch Nellis at the fair.
Did you hear the song, Mitch?
I heard the song.
Did you? What was your reaction to Mason Crosby AI generated song about
Surprised probably Drew Wagner didn't quit the show that moment.
Yes.
That's probably the biggest surprise of the day.
I completely agree with that assessment. No, it was hilarious and it made me smile.
Oh
wow! I mean, just
that's really nice.
Wholesome, and Mitch Nellis is the station's dad and mom for that matter too. Like
just brought us back down to earth here.
Yeah,
we've
Mitch,
been kind of flying pretty high for the last 20 minutes here, Mitch.
It's hot. I'm taking
and
this polo off
we didn't even
immediately.
have any smelling salts.
No.
Well, you got to provide your own. So go to Walgreens, get your own smelling salts now.
Can you
That's
get
right.
smelling salts at Walgreens? Maybe.
If not like real NFL smelling salts, there's definitely something.
There's no real NFL salts. There's no real
smelling,
don't worry. They do not sanction. They do not believe in smelling salts. The
light.
NFL does not.
Yeah, it's like back when the 1983 Wolfpack were playing. You could get smelling salts at Walgreens. That's more or less what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
they were everywhere.
They were outlawed
They were just out on the
way
streets.
after that, though. Mitch, you and me on Thunder at the Fair today.
Oh my gosh, I actually completely forgot about that. I was literally just texting Charlie something.
Oh no, yeah, text me if you want something.
Who needs that guy? Yeah,
no,
it's Tommy. It's Tommy time. It's Tiffy time in WWE, and it's Tommy time on actually 24/7. It's really.
Did you hear, Mitch, that I got another nickname for Tommy?
Another, and I did not hear that there was another.
The K in his the TK Wortz is
Tommy
for
Kmart. Yeah, Tommy Kmart. Yes.
I mean, just the disrespect I take on this station.
Right. Now I want to take it to the next level though, because Mason, you'll have to tell me if your mom does this, because my mother-in-law does this all the time. She calls Walmart like Walmarts. She has like S's
Walmart's.
to stores that don't need S's. So I think it's like Tommy Kmart's.
Tommy
Kmart's.
Yes.
Tommy
I like
Kmart's.
that. Tommy
Whether it's an S or a
Kmart's.
Z, that's up to you.
Ooh, with a Z, of course. Yeah, that's got to be on brand with the name. Okay, I'll take Kmart's for sure. Mitch, what do we got coming up on the show today, my friend?
Your show, bro. It's Tommy's day at the fair. Let's go.
Tommy at the fair.
It is the Celebrity Cream Puff contest today. So both Radar from our sister station, 99.1 The Mix, and good friend of show, Dario Melendez from Channel 12. Dario's in the championship round because he's a past winner. Radar is going for the all-time, I think this is the 18th time he's been in the Cream Puff eating contest, and he's never won. So I don't know if he's tanking it or if he wants to actually win this one. But they'll both be on the show. Scott Grodsky from CBS 58 will be on the show. I was thinking, Tommy, that we should probably just play yesterday's show over because the Brewers just keep winning. Why even do new sports radio in Milwaukee? The Brewers just keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. They're the greatest thing in the history of Earth. They are the best team ever on August 7th, 2025 in the history of Major League Baseball. It's unbelievable.
Mitch, now with the Brewers, I know you have always wanted to temper expectations. That's kind of how we opened the Mason Crosby show today. Are you officially allowed to be excited and look ahead now?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
I would tell everybody
Yes.
temper the excitement, don't temper the looking ahead. I don't want to overuse the P word. But you can use the P word. It's way too early. Like Mason, we've talked about how every 9 or 10 games is like one game in the NFL, right?
Oh, for sure.
So if the Brewers are at 12 or 13 games now through an NFL season, but if they're 9-4, right?
Yep.
Or even 8-5, but definitely if they're 9-4, have the best record in the league, you are talking the P word. In an NFL, in a locker room, right? Right, you're feeling pretty good. Things can still go wrong. We've seen good teams 9-4 have a 4-game losing streak to end the year and not make the playoffs. But if 9-4 playing the way you're playing, it's pretty probable you're going to make the playoffs. It's pretty probable this Milwaukee Brewers team will make the playoffs.
Wait, is the P word probable or playoffs now?
No, it's playoffs.
It's
Okay.
the three Ps. Pretty probable playoffs.
Pretty probable playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty probable that our what's a good P word? I don't know. That's the Brewers. Yeah, I was thinking of adding 2 or 3 more. Mason,
Puffs, cream puffs.
Mason, are you gonna shoot him straight?
Yeah, I'm heading to the course right now. Got to go pick up Dr. Dan Limkuhl at the office. He had to work a little this morning too, and then it's all golf. And I am going to get this thing dialed in.
Well, it should be an awesome day for sure. Mitch, we ready to do this thing?
We are ready, my friend.
Well, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Mason, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your weekend. Mitch Nellis, Thunder at the Fair, coming up here next. It's time to wrap up the Mason Crosby Show. Mason, I'll talk to you later, my man.
All right, we'll talk later. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for holding it down, boys.
I was